Lots of folks been giving their mowers and weed eaters a workout, and we're glad you took a break to enjoy Explore Tulsa. And this week we start the show with a wood shop for big kids.
Then we put one out of the park on the big screen.
Followed by a look at who's making the headlines.
Plus Tulsa's own gumshoed Private Eye.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Explore Tulsa. So Stevie, did you take wood shop in high school?
I certainly did. I made the most beautiful little shelf. My mom always kept it in her craft room at home.
Oh, so you enjoyed woodworking class?
Yeah, but I can't tell you what on the air what we used to call the wood shop teacher, Mr. Fisher.
Oh yeah, good idea. Let's save that for much later. But let's tell everyone about the new Tulsa Wood Arts.
Yeah, it's available for everyone to learn woodworking, and there you can even make cool things like a guitar.
You know, they took shop class out right before I got to high school, and I really feel like a place like this somehow needs to be connected to education. Because there isn't any outlet for people in my generation and the generations coming to do things like this. So many people of my age group and younger are building things on computer platforms, not with hand tools. So these kinds of things are important because the arts are getting phased out. You know, they're not in schools anymore, and we need some place to be able to learn stuff like this.
I'm Murad Al-Rahib, and I've been in Tulsa for the last 23 years. And about 3 years ago, I had attempted to find out where I can get woodworking classes. And amazingly, for a city the size of Tulsa, there are no woodworking schools in this area. And I had owned a couple of properties on 11th Street, and this property came open, and I looked at it and I thought this looked like it would be an ideal place on Route 66 to have a woodworking school.
I think his vision for this is that it will be a productive place for people to come and learn how to do things with their hands. It's neat to see people go from zero knowledge of routers and sanding equipment, because some of our guys don't have any experience at all, to get something that's playable and functional and looks really good at the end. And we make sure that that happens.
Yeah, we wanted to have a state-of-the-art woodworking school. Initially, the main instructors we had was Stephen Walter, and he was the teacher at Northeastern Tech, and he helped in the design, and we went to Atlanta to the big woodworking show. We picked up the best equipment for this size school. We have mostly European equipment with lots of safety. It's an environment where you can do the classes, but in fairly clean and up-to-date, standards. Oh, it was very exciting. I think the challenge really remains is how to make it accessible to more of the people in the Tulsa area, and that remains a challenge. We more recently were focusing on guitar making classes, and that has been really a great addition, having Seth Lee Jones as our master luthier and instructor.
Well, the first thing you notice when you walk right in is these wonderful benches that we have. And these benches have bench dogs and little accessories that help you hold on to the tools and to the pieces that you're working with. The next thing that you're going to notice is as you walk through the machines, we have the biggest and best of all the machines that you could want to have for this. We've got a really big vacuum table, two of the nicer bandsaws I've ever worked on. We have a full air collection, 100% air collection system on all the tools that are here. It's a really clean and professional work environment. I've been to a lot of shops that I've worked at over my period of doing this kind of work that weren't half as clean and nice as this. So it's a real joy to teach somewhere like this.
My name is Bud Rubert, and I came across this course on the internet, and I'm a guitar player, so I like guitars. I've always been interested in the making of guitars and how they're constructed and stuff. So I thought this would be a good chance for me to have a custom guitar that I made that I can pass down. And also my dad is here, and he's a woodworker. He doesn't play guitar, but he does woodworking. I play guitar, but I don't do woodworking. So this seemed like a real good match for us to do something together. And so he's building his guitar and I'm building one. And this facility is incredible. The walk-in, the smell was great. It's so clean. The machines are great. I mean, this is just a fantastic facility to work in.
I think the future in Tulsa is very bright, and I've really looked at the changes, and it's just exciting to see all new businesses, more young people moving in, more development, and I mean that's part of the reason why when we moved here we decided to stay here and make this our home.
Murad definitely had the right idea when it came to putting together a woodworking shop.
He sure did, Stevie. And you can look into upcoming classes by visiting TulsaWoodArts.com.
You know what? I always wanted to make a wooden baseball bat.
Oh, nice idea, but you could take it a step further like Carol Mathews did.
Yeah, make an entire movie around baseball. Now that would be some big fun.
Well, we will see how she made it all happen when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hey, it's Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got two great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life. And see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our two locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I gotta tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number one reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Ever since the first movie theaters opened in the early 1900s, man has been trying everything to bring that same experience home to enjoy with their families. And for more than 30 years, Video Revolution and their home entertainment experts have been making those dreams come true by designing custom home theater solutions for both in and outdoor use. From 1080p LEDs to the brand new Sony 4K flat panel TVs, or come in to see the latest in sound bars and surround sound setups. Always the top name brands are found at Video Revolution. That same electronic expertise we also apply to your business communications network, from boardroom automation to video wall presentations. No matter what technology the future holds, you can count on Video Revolution to be leading the way. Tulsa's headquarters for the best selection and installation of cutting-edge electronics. Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hi there, and thanks for sticking around for more Explore Tulsa.
Oh, I love this time of the year, Trish. Baseball is happening all around us, from Major League action on TV and Little League parks all over town.
Some might remember this week in 1985 when a freshman threw a no-hitter. That put his Memorial Chargers in first place.
No doubt that was a big day for Brian Cook, and the bats were hot too for the Chargers as they beat McLean Scott's 12-zip.
Another exciting baseball moment for Tulsa would have to be during the film of the faith-based movie Home Run.
Yeah, most of it was shot right here in Mulgee and Tulsa with the help of executive producer Carol Mathews.
For me, it began with probably just seeking out the attention of my parents and my siblings. I think I've always been a storyteller. But as it turned out, I discovered that really I am a good storyteller, and for the majority of my career, I've gone in and met with people from nonprofits to corporations and now in feature film industry, and have listened to what's important to them and then put it together in the context of a story. went to Oral Roberts University and majored in television and film production, and then right after I graduated, I went to Kansas City for a couple of years. And I went to work for an ad agency, and then I went from there to a production company where my eyes were really open to what a corporate production looks like. Moved back to Tulsa, went to work for a company called Impact Productions and started working there on the faith-based stuff. And have been in and out. Also went to work for Wintercom, which is a fantastic company here in town that does a lot of work for ESPN. And now I'm on my own at Hero Productions. There were a couple of roles that I played. One was executive producer, and that role was partnered with Tom Newman. And it's about fundraising, it's about investor relations, it's about painting a picture for people and asking people to get on board. That's part of the job. The other part of the job is working with distributors and other partners that are going to help you get it out to the audience. And then the producer side of it was more the creative, overseeing the story, sitting with writers, making sure the messages come across the way you want it to come across, hiring the key creative individuals like the director and the DP, and then it moves on from there, overseeing editing. So I basically wore two hats, very time-consuming 2 hats. Your roots are not irrelevant. I mean, whenever you're trying to launch something, being connected to people is imperative. Relationships are, what makes the world go round. And, when they say it's not what you know, but who you know, the implication there is you have to know big shots in Hollywood or whatever. But clearly, I've learned that the who I've known in making Home Run were basically Tulsans who got on board with the vision of it, got on board with the message of it, and then gave me the encouragement and the prayers and the finances and the moral support to go when the going got tough. And Tulsa has a lot to be proud of. We shot it here. Businesses got on board with us here, and the actors that came from LA and the director that came from LA, they loved it. They loved Tulsa. And so Tulsa put on a good face for them while they were here. Perfect weather. And so, we stay here because we're rooted here. We stay here because we're networked here. And my family, this is a great place to raise a family, and so I want to be close to them. So as much as possible, we'll just keep trying to produce things here.
I saw Home Run on my Apple TV, loved it.
The movie's available now on DVD and Blu-ray at several locations, or you can arrange to have it played for your church or group by visiting homerunthemovie.com.
And be on the lookout for more movies from Carol's new production company, Hero Productions.
I bet if you're a Tulsa Beacon reader, Charles and Susan will keep you up to date with Carol too.
Well, there's one way to find out for sure. We'll stop in and see for ourselves when we meet Charles and Susan Biggs of the Tulsa Beacon next with more Explore Tulsa.
It's ORU like you've never seen before. ORU's Conference and Event Centers invites you to consider us for your next event. With over a dozen venue options and more than 40 years of putting on big shows, we're confident we have just the right venue solution for you. ORU's Conference and Event Services is a full-service operation catering to the needs of the university and the community of Tulsa. Getting married? Then the Prayer Gardens or Christ Chapel can accommodate any size wedding party. Or if your event is all business, ORU has the finest conference, banquet facilities, and equipment in all of Oklahoma. And we have plenty of fun too, with summer camps covering volleyball, soccer, swimming, baseball, and more. Call and find out how ORU Conference and Event Services can be your all-inclusive event venue. 918-495-6400.
Looking for a new home entertainment experience? Well, hi, and welcome to Video Revolution, Tulsa's best in cutting-edge electronics. Professional professional, highly trained home entertainment experts. Video Revolution's been serving Tulsans for over 25 years with name brands like Sony, Clips,
Definitive Technology,
Samsung, and so many more. Great selection, price match guarantee, custom installation, expert assistance equals home entertainment success. See for yourself. The Video Revolution showroom features the largest selection of flat panel TVs in all of Oklahoma. Plus the latest in 3D entertainment. Highly trained home entertainment experts on hand, professional delivery, installation, and service after the sale, and the best selection of name brands. Visit us online at videorevolution.com and find out more about everything we have to offer. Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Welcome to all the fans of the written word and those who love to explore Tulsa with us.
We do appreciate you sticking around. Did you know that the first newspaper in Tulsa was first published 120 years ago?
That's right, Trish. 1893 gave birth to the Indian Republic, which would change its name in 1905 to the Tulsa World.
And world writer Charles Briggs and his wife would take a few years, but eventually they team up to spread good news around T-Town with the Tulsa Beacon.
Yeah, the newspaper business, when I started back in 1977, we typed our stories on typewriters, and we took them to a typesetter, and they printed out what's called galleys, that they would put a thin coat of wax on the back of the galleys and cut them and trim them and do a paste up. So they have a page they would actually, was a pasted up page that they would take a picture of, and they would burn a plate and they go print them. You know, and now it's all computerized. Where there's no, used to when you walked into a newspaper office, it smelled like burning wax. You know, but we don't have waxers anymore because it's all computers. Well, we've actually started two newspapers. In 1984, I was working for the Tulsa World, and I was covering Glenpool, some other suburban cities, and Glenpool didn't have a newspaper, and local business people asked us if we would start a paper, which we did. And then we ran that for several years and sold it when we started having kids. Now, I was working for the Tulsa World, and I did the community world sections that from 1993 to the year 2000. I took a job in Denver, and my wife and kids stayed here, and trying to sell our house. And while I was in Denver, I found out that the company, the magazine I was working for, wanted to move to New York City. And we determined that we did not want to bring our family up there because it was just too harsh a change. So what did we do? Well, it had been in my heart for a long time to start a conservative, Christian-oriented newspaper, and we decided to start the Tulsa Beacon.
That we've really enjoyed, I think. A lot of couples wouldn't like that, and they've told us as much. But we get along fairly well. I mean, you know, he does his thing and I do mine, and we just kind of coordinate those efforts and try not to oversee, you know, what each other's doing, just kind of make sure we're both going in the same direction.
You know, when we first started, you had every newspaper had a darkroom, and you would use a black and white film, and you go in and shoot your film, and then you go in and develop it and hope it turned out okay. But now it's electronic, it's digital photography, which you can go out and we've shot 200 photos at a football game at no extra expense. And then we have design. We design our paper on computers. We don't have a printing press. We send a PDF version of our pages every week to our printer who is in Muskogee, the Muskogee Phoenix. It's a daily paper down there. We send them our paper on Tuesday afternoon. They send us, they bring it back to us at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. We take it to the post office, and our subscribers get it on Thursday. So it's a very smooth and very efficient system that works real well for us. You know, every week we get people call and they say, God bless you for what you're doing. Almost every day in the mail we get people that are resubscribing. We get a lot of retention of our subscribers, and they'll put a note in there, thank you for telling the truth. Appreciate it. And you know, sometimes you get down in the dumps as you had your own business, and you know, things aren't going right, or if the money's not where it's supposed to be. And then God sends along one of these encouraging notes where somebody calls and says, please, please keep doing what you're doing. And I've never been in business before that was like that, you know, but so I feel like we're really fulfilling a need, and that's very satisfying.
It's great to see Charles and Susan working together. They are very much a couple who believes in each other's dreams.
If you'd like to find out how to become a subscriber or where to get the paper, visit tulsabeacon.com.
I think it'd be cool to be an investigative reporter, almost like a private eye spying on people.
Why don't you just become a private eye?
Or better yet, why don't we check in with one of Tulsa's own private eyes from Powerhouse Investigations next when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99, or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Persimmon Hollow Village and Flea Market. Shop 15 buildings on 3 acres. Free admission and parking's free too. Open every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Find us 1 block east of 71st and Garnett, behind the Salvation Army store. Y'all come out and see us now.
If you ever thought you'd like to be like Sherlock Holmes or Jim Rockford or Magnum P.I., then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
You know, Stevie, there are famous female detectives like Nancy Drew and Veronica Mars who are also great at solving mysteries.
Yeah, you should tell my wife that in the morning when she's trying to find her keys. I always tell her, put them in the same place. You'll always know where they are.
Well, that is good advice, but you're going to be in big trouble when she sees this.
I might need to call Michael Morelli at Powerhouse Investigations to keep a safe eye on me.
A PI is someone who puts puzzles together. We find information, and it's like putting a puzzle together. One little piece leads to another, and then you get the information. I do a lot of work for attorneys, finding witnesses. Maybe someone was a witness of an accident or an injury. We do insurance work where someone claims they have an injury and they're not injured. You know, you catch them on the roof putting tile up and they're supposed to be in bed with a back injury. So, and then we do a lot of work with spouses that, you know, cohabitation or cheating spouses, and background investigations, due diligence for attorneys. So it's really a lot of fun. If you like chasing trails and finding pieces that fit together, it's really a lot of fun. You know, on the crime dramas on TV, they break into people's homes, they wiretap. That is completely illegal. You can't do that. That's all dramatized, obviously. But no, in the real world, we are regulated by very strict rules. You have to be certified through CLEAT. You have to go to school. You have to be trained. You have to pass tests. You have to have a background check, fingerprinted, because they don't want a criminal becoming a PI, because we have access to databases that the general public does not have. This just looks like a key fob that any normal key would be on, okay? This is a high-definition covert surveillance camera. It films audio, video, it takes pictures, and I've used this many times, like walking into Walmart and I'm following someone and I have my keys in my hand and I just have the key fob and I'm videotaping them. We have cameras that are built into pens, so you can go do an interview and you have a little pen and it's filming or it's recording audio. Now there's rules and laws about that, but I have in my car a device that looks like a GPS, but what it is, it's a high definition camera. And so I've used that multiple times. If I'm following an individual, like for example, I worked a case where this individual is suspected of drinking with the kids in the car. Well, I'm following them down the road and I'm filming, and it just looks as normal as anything because people don't expect to be followed, and the equipment is just, there's plants that have cameras in them. clocks that have watches that have cameras in it. You can put a camera in just about anything. It's amazing. You need to be careful. I tell people all the time, be careful what you post on Facebook. I can take a photograph off of Facebook and I can tell you where it was taken and what time it was taken. It'll geolocate it. And I can know where you took that photograph and where you were at that time. So for example, someone says, well, I was doing this and this and this, and I turn that over to an attorney and it proves that they're lying, because you can prove about that photograph because information is embedded in those photographs. So you have to really be careful today what you put online. The slogan on my website, Powerhouse Investigations, is finding the truth for you. Truth is something that's really important to me personally. It's vital to me. I like truth. That's why I like investigating. I want to find out what the truth is. So I feel good about helping people. That's important to me. Finding truth for people is why I'm passionate about being a PI.
Check it out, Trish. My very own key fob camera. Got it at Video Revolution, and now I can keep an eye on you anywhere you go.
You really need an actual hobby. If you're in need of a private investigator, look Michael up at powerhouseinvestigations.com.
We're keeping an eye on you, so stick around with more Explore Tulsa coming up.
At Video Revolution, we've got
today's 3D technology.
Smart TVs.
And I can help you pick the one that's
a larger size TV.
We handle it all here at Video Revolution.
Now people can get
a 90-inch TV.
Locally owned and operated.
Now coming up on a 30-year anniversary.
Customer service is our priority. We have our own service center.
It just brings back enjoyment to watching TV.
And now it's affordable for everybody.
And we sell fun stuff. It's like toys for big kids. Customers that come into Video Revolution are blown away.
Be sure and join us next week when we learn how to make the most of our home energy use with Greg Amell at Steady State Geothermal.
We want to thank Murad for showing us around Tulsa Wood Arts.
Thanks too to Carol Mathews at Hero Productions for bringing us Home Run and the great movies that she has planned for the future. Let me know if you need a leading man. And to Charles and Susan Biggs for all the fine work they're doing with the Tulsa Beacon.
Plus thanks to Michael Morelli for taking us behind the scenes of Powerhouse Investigations.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
Hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of the two pair for $129 deal with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.